old piece of
Alright,
junk.
so I have a 2009 Chevy HHR. It came in for an engine light and a noise. The noise has already been taken care of. It was rather easy. But it came in for an engine light. I pulled the codes and it had this code in it. If you'll be able to see that. Okay, so this code is a P0449, and any codes that are P04 something are going to be an emissions code. And this one happens to be evaporative emission evap vent solenoid control circuit, which you probably just read. Now, a control circuit code is always a electrical concern. It means the vehicle has detected an electrical problem. So at this point, testing for emissions leaks are not going to do me any good. So what I have to do is I have to test the electrical side. The vent control solenoid on these vehicles is at the back. It's I'll bring you back there. So it's right here. This is the wire that plugs into it, and this is the axle for the vehicle, or well, yeah, lack thereof, front-wheel drive vehicle. This is the emissions evap canister. This is what holds the charcoal for filtering the gas fumes. This piece here is a giant vent control solenoid. So the actual solenoid is only right here. And normally you'll have a large leak detected if this thing fails. And when you end up with that large leak detected code, what it usually ends up being is a bunch of dirt built up in that vent control solenoid, and when that happens, it makes it stick and it'll throw a large leak because it's stuck. It can't close. It's a normally open solenoid, and if it's unable to close, it'll just let all the gas fumes vent into the charcoal canister, thus into the atmosphere. And the system will throw a code because it won't see any kind of vacuum when it's trying to suck the stuff back into the engine and burn it up. So I'm going to go ahead and test this thing. Since it's a electronic problem, I'm going to show you the process of actually powering it and then making sure that it works properly. So for my test equipment, I have these two wires. What they are is a flat spade on one end, and then on the other end here there is a connector that connects to that flat spade, right? It's the same type of connector, just the male end and female end. And then on the other side I have a alligator clip. I'll be using the female end on both of them and the alligator clip. All I want to do is make sure that that solenoid powers up. Start by disconnecting that nice little connector right there. Grab our adapters, plug them in. So we got them hooked up. Now I have a 12-volt battery, and this guy does have power. Does have a good charge. I can light up a battery with it, or light up a battery, wow. Light up a light with it. So what I'm going to do is take this, hook one lead up. It doesn't matter. It's not polarity sensitive. And I'm just going to touch it on here, okay? And that solenoid is not doing anything. If it was a good solenoid, it'll click. It's not clicking, and if I turn my light off, I already checked this, it would be sparking if it had any kind of continuity. But just for the sake of good measure, I'm going to grab a meter and I'm going to prove to you that this thing measures as an open circuit. So these solenoids should measure, I don't know, probably 10, 20, something in the less than 100 ohm range. And I have it on there right now. You can see it's got 13.3 and kind of climbing or whatever. And it says M before the ohm symbol. That M is for million. So 13 million ohms. Well, obviously that's pretty much might as well be an open circuit. It's got some continuity. If I were to put power on this thing, it would literally just open up the circuit and it wouldn't have anything. I'm surprised it can even measure it at that high of a resistance. So that thing has failed electronically. Basically the wire windings, after it's used so much, will expand and contract every time it gets used, and then they break. They create an open within those windings. Sometimes they'll rub together and create a short, but in this case they broke. To remove this vent solenoid, so pull that off. You got this white deal here. There's another one on the other side. Gotta squeeze those. Sometimes these are a real son of a gun to get off of here, as they get built up with dirt from gravel roads and whatnot. Oh, there we go. Took quite a bit to get that off of there. Now there is a clip on the other side. I'll swing you around. Now this tab here is what I'm pulling back on it. And I'm wiggling this thing to get it to come loose. See, it's slowly coming. It's got an O-ring, I think, in here, if I remember right. Oh, it's a rubber deal. Okay, it's a little bit different than I remembered. But watch this. There's just going to be a ton of dirt in here. Okay. You see all that dirt falling from everything? That's kind of normal. Ooh, there we go. See all? Oh yeah, there. See? That's what wrecks these things. So this one probably actually shorted from just the dust and dirt rubbing through. Holy crap! Ah! I got to get out of here. All right, I'm gonna show you guys how much came out of this thing. That's pretty bad. I didn't even finish dumping it out yet. Let's see here. Okay, so you can see that pile of dust from gravel or whatever. See how much we can get out of here. Look at that. Just keeps coming. There we go. Now it's finally. Alright, look at it. We got just tons of this stuff in here. So that's a pretty nasty pile of dust and dirt. Just to give you an idea of why these things fail, I would like to say it's a mistake for these manufacturers to put it back here, but I think they did it on purpose. They knew that all the dirt would be slinging from the front tires into the back, and they knew that it was going to be prone to failure later on. And manufacturers, you know, they want to sell their parts, because when they sell parts, they make money. So they're doing it to sell parts, and it's job security for me as far as I'm concerned, so I'm okay with that. If it was my vehicle, though, I'd prefer to have it in the front where you don't get the dust unless you're behind somebody. Just my personal way that I would want it. I'm going to get the new one here, and then we'll get it installed. I might as well show you that noise that he was having after I explain it here. So he had a interesting noise coming to a stop sign and then accelerating. He'd have this really loud creak, kind of a clunk sound. And if he was kind of coming down into like a driveway or up into a driveway or whatever, mostly down, and turning into it at the same time, turning to the left, because it would lean on the right, it would have this nasty, just constant creak, bang, clunk thing that would just, sometimes it'd be 5-6 nasty creak, clunk sounds that would come from the passenger foot rest area. Alright, so you'd have these clunks, and it was after he hit a very large pothole. He said as soon as he hit that pothole, it started doing it. So I took it for a drive, verified the noise, that's what I heard, and once I lifted the vehicle up, I started inspecting for things. It seemed like it was on the very back right of the subframe or K-frame or whatever you want to call it. And so that's the first place I went. And I was looking around, and I noticed the bolt. I'll bring you. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. But okay, it took me a minute to get that thing to focus, but you can see right from here So right there, you see that kind of that line going around here? That gave me the tip that this bolt had moved. And so I grabbed my breaker bar and put a socket on it, and sure enough, it turned like easily one full turn. So either the bolt has started to stretch, or the impact was just so great that it broke it free, and it's been kind of loosening up. I don't know, it's strange. I have had this cradle off before, so perhaps I didn't get that one as tight as I could have at one point, but that was quite some time ago. So I know these bolts are quite rusty, so maybe that has something to do with it. I'm not sure, but I was able to tighten it down plenty tight, and it didn't break. So at this point, I'm not concerned about it. It seems fine now, and as soon as I drive it, I'll verify that the noise is gone. I'm pretty confident that was it, because it was an old piece of junk and the new one. So as you can see, I got a new one here. We are going to test it just to show you what it should have sounded like, whereas the other one, it did not do anything. Now you'll notice there's a pigtail on this one. The old one does not have that because they changed the connector here. They sent an adapter to adapt it to the correct adapter. Alright, so you can hear that loud and clear, right? I'll do it again. AC is off. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but there's a little spark coming off of there. So watch that spot there. You remember that spark I was talking about before that I should have been able to see on the other one? That's why I knew that other one ohmed too high. Because that spark is an indication that it's drawing some form of current. Obviously the other one was not drawing any current. Okay, so installing this guy. Now the new one did not come with a nice little rubber boot. At least I didn't see it, unless it's stuck in the box. I better check. Nothing in the box. So the new one did not come with the rubber deal that the old one has sitting right here. So I gotta transfer that over. Okay, here's the old one. Now this is silicone paste. It's dielectric grease, whatever. It's same thing you would use on your tune-up. Just smeared it around this rubber seal here. That way it can go in and out easy. And we just simply slide it and snap it into place, just like that. Cool. Take a little bit more of that silicone. I'm going to put it right on here. That way that doesn't have any trouble getting on there, being it's all covered in dirt. See all that dirt coming off of there? Makes me want to blow it out with an air nozzle, but I'll make do. Snap that into place. Then we got to take this guy, connect it up, obviously. And the one thing is this deal has to go somewhere. I can't leave it hanging like that since it's so long. There is not a thing to connect it to. It doesn't reach anything. So I'm going to go grab me a zip tie and just zip tie the thing onto something. Maybe I'll go right up here. That'll work good. I'll just throw a couple zip ties at it. Okay. Alright, got those zip ties in place. Just like that. And this job is done. I'm going to go for a test drive, verify the clunk is gone. It should be, and the emissions code should not return at this point. So we should be good to go. On my last week here, I made a huge mistake. I actually recorded 3 projects. One of them was large, and somehow during the transfer of files from one storage unit to another, because I'm in the midst of doing computer changing, I lost all of the files, every one of them. So I haven't posted videos in a while, and that's why. I was pretty disappointed, but you know what? Can't always win all of them. So lost that battle with files, kicked my butt. But anyway, I'm not too concerned about it. I'll have plenty more videos to come. So I'll just keep plugging away and getting all these projects done. and keep you guys filled in on what I'm doing. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe. Any comments on improvements, more than willing to listen to them. And have a nice evening, rest of your day, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Hopefully this video was either helpful to you or entertaining to you in some way or form. And let's keep these videos coming. Share these videos and get them out there so that I can continue doing this. Thanks for watching.